Well, good morning everybody. We've woken up in Wanaaring. Now we got in here last night about 5ish, so we didn't film. And normally I would put this where we are into a spotlight on campgrounds, but it's so small I'm just going to include it in this video. So it's literally right in town. Let's open this up. Clean some water off my lens, guys. It's in town. There's a pub just over there. Rural Fire Service. I've got this campground here near the Tibooburra River. Now Kaz and I have no idea what was going to happen in this river overnight, so we chose to stay connected to the car and park over there, which is fairly upstream and somewhat higher ground, to just in case the water came up, so we could get out quickly. Now the water didn't come up, so all is fine. It's been raining for the last couple of hours, only a little bit, which is why I'm walking these around with me now. Sorry I keep wiping the lens, guys, don't want to have you looking through a drip. Anyway, as I said, this campground is in town. It's free. Just up from here at the Rural Fire Service is some public toilets that include a shower facility. They're free, but they encourage you to do a donation to the RFDS through a lockbox, so why not? So, given the weather, not going to be able to do a lot this morning. It is actually a bit after 8 o'clock now. Sun doesn't rise here till 7:30. So we're probably going to get out of here and try and make it to Cameron Corner today. We have no idea what we're going to find in road conditions, so we'll take you with us and see what you get to. But anyway, probably not even going for brekkie. We might just grab a snack and go and eat later on, I think. I just thought I'd show you that. Well, Wanaaring's a nice little, very small town. So, but at least it's free to camp. There is another camp just before you get into town near the river by a bridge, but it literally holds about one campsite. And it was full when we got here. So we come to this one, we had it all to ourselves. And if you think having a pub across the road was a big deal, it really wasn't. Didn't hear anything. Don't know if there was people there or what was going on, but it was quiet. Hey guys, we'll catch you as the day progresses. This Kaz hiding in there. Now we've left Wanaaring and we're on the road to Tibooburra. Now I called into the local shop. It's always a good idea to do that when you're in these little towns. The local shop also happens to be the post office, and they got the information on anything current usually. So I ducked in there and asked him how the road out to Tibooburra would be. Now he said, given the rain we've had, it should just about drive a dust up. That's all, dampen the dust. How can you drive a dust? He said, so we should be pretty right. He said, if it rains further west, well, we'll see what happens there. So, plan at the present time is to head for Tibooburra, and we'll basically see what we can do when we get there. If the rain starts to set in, well, we're in a town to a pub, no big deal. And we may have to stay there for a couple of days. And if that happens, well, that happens. Our trip may be cut a bit short. But that's the joys of remote area travel, guys. You just have to go with it. So, while it's raining, you guys are not going to see it a lot. I'm obviously not going to film too much because you're going to get sick of looking at shots from the dash cam of basically road and cloud. So, this part of the video might be a bit short. But we can only do what we can do, guys. So, joys of adventure travel. Anyway, we will show you what we can when we can as we progress down the road.
Well, we're woken up this morning and look, it's raining. So on the road looks all good at the moment. We're going to head to Tibooburra and hopefully we can go on from there. But so far, so good. What's the camp like, Steve?
Well, the camp was alright. First time we've been able to leave the camper hooked up. Had to lift it, but yeah, it was okay. It's nice down by the river.
What river was it? Paru.
The Peru River. Yeah.
Paru River at
Wanaaring.
Wanaaring. Nice little camp. Lots of mozzies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bring your bloody bushman's area card for that one.
And we're just going to see how the day goes. Hopefully it's just rain here, localised. It'll be nice and dry further down the track. He's hoping, hey Steve?
Yeah, you can only hope. There was some talk that it may be coming from the west. If that's like that, that could be a problem. But if it's a bit wet, we may stay in Tibooburra for a couple of days. There is a pub. All is not lost.
Sounds great. Let's do it. Just on the track, heading towards Tibooburra, we come across this inland salt lake. That's kind of cool. Very nice. And we're not as dirty as I thought we would be. The rain hasn't been that bad. Section just there.
Well, whilst in Tibooburra, we came across the Tibooburra Pioneer Park, which shows off a whole lot of machinery and mining equipment from the old days. But the most impressive part of the display is a full-size replica of Sturt's boat that he took with him, believing that he would find an inland sea in Australia. Of course, we all know that that wasn't a reality. I did shoot some footage on it for video, but I don't know where it's gone, so stills will have to do. Sorry about that, guys. That's all I can do.
And now we're 40 k's out of Tibooburra, and look at the change of scenery. Shh, we won't mention that it's not raining. But look at the beautiful open plains, not a hill in sight or just in the very far distance. It's amazing.
No trees. Nothing. Except for the occasional oncoming car. Which we haven't seen another car come the other way for at least half an hour. These grids are very common on these outback roads because all the outback highways run through cattle properties and stations. They're all unfenced, so the grids are where their fence lines or border lines are, depending on the situation. Always slow down because they seem to have up ramps onto some of them. Some of them are very flat, like that one, but others, if you hit those at 80 k an hour or quicker, you're going to be airborne. Aren't we, Andrew? You're going to be airborne for long periods of time. Not good. So slow right down and expect the unexpected on it. Well, here we are. We are about to exit New South Wales. This is the gate that everybody wants to come to. This is the gate on the dog fence up near Cameron Corner. My very gorgeous wife is going to go and open said gate, and we'll be in South Australia. Here she goes. As the sign says, the gate should be closed at all times. If found open, contact the Wild Dog Destruction Board. So that's one of the rare occasions, it doesn't matter how you find it, you want to close it. Anyway, here we are. Well, it's still cold, at least it's not raining, but here where we are now. We've hit South Australia. We're basically at Cameron Corner. Well, we are at Cameron Corner. There's the big South Australian sign there. Here's the sign that says New South Wales. Now, where gorgeous Kaz is, she may be a little bit in the distance there. That's the gate of the dog fence. So we've made it.
We made it! Made it to Cameron's Corner!
She's very excited.
Corner country! Let's go and have a beer.
Sounds like a plan. The camper and the truck are a bit dirty because we've been driving on pretty well a couple of 100 k's of mud. So anyhow, in not very long at all, we'll be in Queensland. We'll show you that. Right, now here we are, literally a minute later. Welcome to Queensland.
We're in Queensland.
So we're in Queensland pretty well.
I want you to go over the grid.
Over the grid here. Yep. So literally as we go over here, we're in Queensland. So that's pretty cool. There's a duck up here. We'll find out where we can camp. So there you go. We've made it to Queensland and South Australia and New South Wales, all within the last 15 minutes. In fact, the last 5 minutes. Alright, here we are. Living proof that Mud Duck has been here before with the Central Coast 4 Drive Club. Where are we? Cameron Corner store. If you look over there, there's a Mud Duck's 4 Drive tourist sticker. How good is that?
There you go, buddy.
Oh yeah, don't do it. Random words. No. Get it. Oh no.
We made it Cameron's Corner. Camped overnight. Absolutely rained something terrible all night. All day yesterday. And waking up to a lot of fog. That's going to be an awesome day. A bit cold at the moment. You see the truck is absolutely filthy. So is the camper. But we made it to where 3 states meet, Cameron's Corner. It's a lovely little place. It's as beautiful as a destination as its own. It's quite good. And the food here, we had it at the pub last night, it's pretty good too. So that's a quick walk around camp. As this fog clears, I get to show you more of the horizons and the surrounding area.
This is our camp this morning. This is what the car looks like after a day in the slightly wetter roads. This is the van, or the camper. Still haven't decided what to call this yet. She's a bit grotty, a bit muddy. I don't even know how well this all shows up, but she's a bit grotty. Not Karen, the trailer. So, quite possibly the dirtiest we've had the 200 in a long time. You know, at Cameron Corner store here, you can camp, they don't charge you. If you want power, you can camp on power, and they do charge you for that, but that's understandable. If you can bush camp, be self-sufficient, do that. So this is the main, but this is the back of the Cameron Corner basically, the pub and the store. This is a whole group of people I met here last night. There's a drone. I can hear a drone. So those guys also have a small YouTube channel, which I'll tell you about in a minute. The guys further over, I met those guys yesterday a couple of times. You can get fuel here. Now, apparently the diesel Bowser has only just been replaced. It used to be covered in stickers like the petrol Bowser. It's just been replaced. So now, weirdly enough, it hasn't got many stickers on it, but it's got some good ones. You might recognise one of them. MPF Adventures is those guys in those vans there. So I'll have a look at their channel later on. Now, we're pretty well going to spend the day here. That's the pub. It's really good. I might run the camera up in there tonight and give you a look in there. Another unique thing about Camera Corner, Tri-State Golf. It's a little 9-hole golf course, and there's 3 holes in each state. So that's pretty cool. We're going to have a go at that later. So I hope they give you coloured balls, because they look like it'd be hard to find in there. Anyhow, that's the run down through there. Now, down in the distance there at all the signs and stuff is the actual corner. So I'll probably grab Kaz shortly. We'll go for a walk down there and do the obligatory be at all 3 states at the same time. So that's the run down. Our day today is basically stay here. And we got to head off a bit earlier than we were going to on this trip. Apparently the boys at Conquer have sold that trailer. Haven't sold it for a long time, and yeah, they got a call on it, really want that one back, so I've got to cut my trip a little bit short, but that's okay. These are what happens. So I'll grab Kaz and we'll go down to actually have a look at the corner, and I'll show you that in due course. Anyway, here we go, over the gate. Watch this. Go, Kaz.
I'm watching. Here you go.
Right, you'll now note that Karen is in South Australia.
Hi.
And I'm in Queensland. Now, I'm in South Australia too. And just so you know, there's the sign. Queensland border. So that's it, that's the Queensland border. A whole bunch of assorted stickers over here. I might have to come back to you with some stickers. Although I have already showed you, but I've put the odd sticker around here. Here's one, F-Tech. That'll be young Ty. And we also know, sure there'll be a few others here. JTS, I know Jamie. Yeah, a few of them around. Hey George, if you're watching, I found it, mate. Break the cage, as George says. Get outdoors. You know, I think I'm still in South Australia. No, it isn't. Karen thinks we're in New South Wales, but we're not. When we get here to this rather unassuming looking post, we'll find out that we're not yet. Here it is. the corner post. I don't know how well you can see that, guys. It's a bit watery. Where my hand is, we're in South Australia. So Kaz was wrong, we're still in South Australia. Now, that's in Queensland, that's in New South Wales. Now my hand is in all 3 states at once. Now Karen is now in New South Wales. I'm standing in both Queensland and South Australia. So, that's what you come out here to see. A lump of concrete with a sign on it. Karen Corner. This survey monument was authorised as Tri-State Border Mark this day in the presence of a bunch of ministers on the 11th of June 1969. So what they've done is, that's the actual border line. So the dog fence is actually in Queensland. But this way, the dog fence is the actual border. So there you go. That's something I didn't know. I thought the dog fence was right on the border, but it's not. It's actually in Queensland. So that is that bit. And then of course there's all the boards and signs to tell you all about it. I think you can't come up here to the corner and I'd actually have a look at it all. This is actually also the furthest point of our trip now. As previously mentioned, we do have to go back a bit quicker than we were going to. So this tells you the geology, the land types and soils, stuff about the creeks and the lakes. Kaz will take a bunch of stills about this and I'll try and put them in. So, all about who was Cameron, dingo fence, all that stuff. So it's a beautiful part of the country. It takes a while to get here. It is truly outback of the 3 states. So that'll do me for this bit. I've bored you now for, by the look of it, 7 minutes and 35 seconds. So I'll show you some more as our day goes on. We're probably going to go and have a game of golf in every state shortly. So that'll be interesting. Alright, see you in a while. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Just leaving us a little bit of drone footage of Cameron Corner store and the general area there at the corner. It's a great part of the world. We camped there for 2 nights, so on next week's episode you'll get to see what we got up to on the day we just stayed there. I haven't taken a lot of footage in the pub itself because I encourage everybody to get out there and have a look. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like on it. It really helps the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, can you click the notification bell, then you'll know when a new video comes up. And of course, to the old hands, as always, thanks very much for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my clips. I'm fairly confident that next week's video should be the last part in this series. So I really hope you've enjoyed our trip out to the corner store, and we'll show you the rest of it in the next clip. Cheers guys, have a good one, and we'll see you soon. All the best from Steve Kaz at Mud Ducks 4-Wheel Drive Touring.